Imagine being diagnosed with a disease, but never being told what it is, how severe it is, or being denied treatment that could save your life. Syphilis, a disease known since antiquity, has claimed countless lives throughout history. By the 20th century, treatments became available. Yet, for 40 years, hundreds of black men in the United States were kept in the dark about their own health and used as mere tools in one of the most ethically compromised experiments ever carried out. Welcome to Tuskegee, Alabama, home to the Tuskegee Institute, a beacon of hope and education for many African Americans in the Jim Crow South. But behind the hope, a shadow loomed. Starting in 1932, 600 African American men were selected to be part of a health program. 399 of them had latent syphilis, while the remaining 201 were free of the disease. These men were promised free medical care, meals, and burial insurance. But there was a catch, a dark, horrifying secret. They were never informed they had syphilis. Instead, they were told they had bad blood, a vague term used in the community to describe various ailments. As years went by, the bacteria ravaged their bodies. Skin lesions, heart problems, neurological damage, blindness, even death. And yet, despite the discovery of penicillin in the 1940s as an effective treatment for syphilis, these men were deliberately denied treatment. Doctors watched, documented, and observed as the disease consumed their lives. The aim? To observe the natural progression of untreated syphilis. These men, reduced to mere data points, were robbed of their autonomy, health, and futures. Families shattered, dreams broken, and a trust betrayed. The experiment was exposed in 1972, causing national outrage. It left a permanent scar on Tuskegee and on America's medical ethics. Today, the Tuskegee Syphilis experiment serves as a haunting reminder of the lengths institutions have gone to in the name of science, and the dire importance of medical ethics and human rights. Let's never forget these men, their families, and the price they paid. Let their stories be a beacon, ensuring such horrors never happen again. The shockwaves of the Tuskegee Syphilis experiment were felt across the nation, sparking a revolution in medical ethics. New laws and regulations were enacted, but the legacy of mistrust in the healthcare system among African American communities continues to be felt. What were the lives like of the men involved? What hopes and dreams were crushed under the weight of deception? Fathers, sons, husbands. Men who trusted, loved, and aspired for a better future. The unearthing of the experiment led to a national conversation about race, ethics, and medicine. In 1973, a $10 million settlement was reached, and the U.S. government promised lifetime medical benefits to the survivors and their families. But no amount of money can truly compensate for the lost lives and the broken trust. The President of the United States formally apologized in 1997, recognizing the grave injustice done. But what about the scientists, the doctors, the nurses? What was going through their minds as they watched the suffering unfold? The experiment's lead researcher, Dr. John Cutler, went on to be involved in other unethical medical studies, including the previously mentioned Guatemalan syphilis experiment. The darkness of the Tuskegee experiment is vast and deep, a complex web of human frailty, systemic racism, and failed oversight. The legacy of Tuskegee is a constant reminder, a lesson that must be learned over and over again. As we stand on the shoulders of history, looking into the future, let us never forget the humanity behind the data, the faces behind the statistics, the lives behind the science.